Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. And today we will be talking about our brother Torian Rain. Shout out to you, Torian. Um, and him going in on Kim Foster over this past week. Welcome to the angry, bitter black feminist, Torian. This is one of those sisters that hide behind their academic accomplishments and they hide behind their degree, but really they hate black men. They hate black men with a passion outside of the one black man they might be having sex with. Um, they intellectualize their misandry, and the dominant society and many other black women ignore the fact that this is a raging, not even feminist, radical feminist who despises black men as a whole, especially working class and blue collar black men. Yeah, that is exactly who Kim Foster is. Um, for Harriet is just another less talented Oprah. She's from that kind of Oprah camp of thinking, right? But she's just less talented than Oprah is. You know, that's the difference. Sassy, bitter, mad because people ain't like her in her I'm not even, you know what, we're not gonna do that. Too easy, too easy. Another sister that's just mad about their dating results or lack thereof when they were younger. One of those women that claim that, oh, I don't need a man, I don't need men, I don't need this, I don't need that. But in reality, when you listen to them speak, they will remind you about who didn't want them in high school, who them when they were in high school, who wasn't checking for them in high school, and much of what they say and much of what they are now is because of a lack of access to the type of man they think they deserve when they were younger, right? When they were children, when they were young adults, right? So that is who Miss Kim Foster is. And shout out to you, Torian Rain, for finally doing some research on her. Oh yeah, it gets worse, Torian. If you want, I can send you the link. Homegirl was over here just a month ago saying we need to bring back, we don't need these Negroes feminism, and Negroes wasn't the word she used. So yeah, welcome to the bitter, angry feminist who hides behind her degree. Right? The reason why it seems like the Black manosphere has something against Kim Foster is because we're tired of women exactly like Kim Foster hiding behind their education, pretending like they're not slinging mud like the rest of us, right? They speak like they're above it, but really they're engaging in the same gender conflict, gender war, whatever you want to call it. But they're engaging in it, but they're speaking and acting as if they're so much above it, right? And actually, they're just trying to educate black women and educate black men, right? But they're really just sexist, misandrous, anti-black male matriarchs, right? Matriarchs if you want to be nice, gynocrats if you want to be accurate, right? And no one, thank you for the super chat. And no one says social worker tax. Thank you, brother. Thank you, right? We're gonna leave that up for a while. And so we're talking about Kim Foster over the past couple months because of the way, because she really, and I wouldn't doubt if she thinks she really is above it, right? This is the same young lady that told you that when she was in high school, not only were the black jocks not checking for her, the black nerds weren't checking for her, and it forced her to have to go to prom with a white guy, right? So, and this is something that she said with some, with with a little bit of anger in her voice, right? So that lets you know that that's something that still bothers her. That's something that fuels her in the way she thinks about black men and talks about black men. Not being sought after as a child is something that affects her as an adult. So when we tie that to what she said about Angela Reese, and the reason why my title is what it is, they hate black men more than they love black women. They do. They do. Chrissy, Paris, Yanni, Kim Foster, they have hit issues with black men. And they're willing to use other black women as cannon fodder against black men. They're willing to watch other black women be single for months and years and possibly even a decade plus just to spite black men. Torian, that's how you get the tweet that she tweeted about there being a difference between black men being in interracial relationships and black women being in interracial relationships. She's just like Chrissy. Chrissy told you either Bill Wakanda or black men ain't ish, right? Yanni over here trying to lecture down Anton Daniels, right? Meanwhile, she's over here sobbing because Lauren Smith feels like she and other women like her had a hand in what happened to that young lady, unfortunately, probably at the hands of that white man she was with. Right? Paris is out here calling black men nakers while she's married to a black man. Right? These are the people that produce content for their female subscribers and then act like they love black women. They care about black women. And I'm speaking exactly to that, Torian, because as you accurately pointed out, this woman claims to be a black feminist, right? She claims to be producing feminist content, right? As a Harvard graduate who thinks you can tell black women to bring back "we don't need these Negroes" feminism, like that won't hurt black women. But she's okay with hurting black women if she can wage war on black men. This is what jihadists look like. They send your daughters out there. They send your nieces out there to be cannon fodder in their war against black men. And what does cannon fodder look like? It looks like disagreeable, mean, extra sassy, argumentative black women who are single for years on end. Not just single because black men ain't ish. No, they're single because they're insufferable to men in general. Heterosexual, straight men. And so those women go years being single, sometimes years with no sex. And the sex is because of intimacy and love and all of that. It's not just a sexual act. And the Kim Fosters of the world look at that and say, yeah, that's good. It's better than what you would have been if you would have been with one of these no good black men, right? One of these, which she would consider a sexist black man, which she would consider a colorist black man, which she would consider just a regular blue-collar black man. Chrissy already told y'all. Yanni trying to reel it back now, but Chrissy already told y'all, if y'all over here with a regular 50-50 finance black man, then why are you even with him? She already told y'all that. Chrissy's one of those that would rather be single and alone with her rose toy, vibrating her click to death, than be with a man that going 50-50 on the bills. She'd rather pay all the bills by herself, talking crap about black men, right? While desensitizing her little red button, we'll say. Right? And she would rather, to wage war on other black men, she would rather other black women think and feel like her. That's why she over here laughing about 50-50 relationships, as if she got any relationship. You're insufferable. You have nothing. Maybe you're dating this white guy that you told us about a month ago. Maybe that'll matriculate into something. But you out here talking crap. Right? So, Torian, I'm glad that you came upon Kim Foster and her antics. And the reason why Kim Foster is so dangerous is because she's the one that white society elevates, right? Kim Foster is the type that white society elevates. She pretends like she's above it. She pretends like she cares about other black women more than she hates black men, more than she despises black men, more than she's waging a war against black men. She speaks like she's above it, right? Like I said, she's along that Oprah lane, where, for those of you that remember the interview with Oprah, what I think the 2020 interview, right? Where what's her name? The white lady asked Oprah, and Oprah said, yeah, when she was younger, she wished she was a white woman. Do y'all understand what that means for black politics? When you got black people, notable billionaire black women, telling you that at once upon a time, which means that they still think it, they wish they were a white woman, then you wonder why Oprah and Gayle act the way they do. Why Gayle tried to clutch her invisible pearls when her and Snoop were going back and forth. When she tried to press Lisa Leslie to give her a particular Kobe Bryant was a monster type answer. And when Lisa Leslie didn't give her that answer and the black community rained down upon her, and Snoop Dogg appropriately went after her with her dog-headed ass, as Snoop's dog said. And then she want to pretend like she want to pull on the innocent white woman BS. Clutch her invisible pearls. Oh my God, white society, look, black people, black men are coming after me because I was just doing my job. It's not because I was trying to gender war, because I walked in on my man cheating on me when I was younger. Oops. So that's what makes Kim Foster dangerous. That fake white woman crap that they try to pull. That fake innocent crap that they try to pull. Damsel in distress crap they try to pull. That's what makes them so dangerous. It's that they all want to be upper middle class or rich white women, and they're willing to wage a war against black men for it. So shout out to you, Torian, for doing your research and looking her up and seeing what she about. But brother, you have no idea. Kim Foster, yeah, she's that chick. She's that one. And she revels in it because this is the most male attention she ever got in her goddamn life. Her little 5'2" back. I'm not going to make body jokes. I'm not. Mr. Z, you're above that. You can still make the argument without going in on the way she looks. Yes, you can. Yes, I can. There we go. All right. Right. But it's important to emphasize also that half the reason why women like Kim Foster sound the way they do is because the way they look. That's why she had such an issue, right, with what's her name telling women to, you know, if you're really trying to get these high value men, go to the gym 3 times a week. Brittany Renner. She had a problem with Brittany Renner saying that. No matter what I do, I will never look like you. I will not get the shit that women like you get. I will not be able to pull the men that women like you pull just off of sheer looks. Right? I want to say this to all the black women under the sound of my voice. Everyone sees you trying to intellectualize misandry. The time is dead. See, y'all are used to a time when white men had the money and the resources and the time and the inclination and the energy to use you against black men and allow you to be the colonizing agent in the black community. Xer and millennial white men don't have that money and that time anymore. And they're waging their own campaign against white women. So the Kim Fosters are out there by themselves now. They don't have the backing of white dollars the way Oprah did. That's what y'all are missing. So y'all waging this campaign without the money. Yeah, y'all might get a couple of dollars sprinkled here and there, but it's not the same. It is not the same. Right? And that makes a big difference. That makes a big difference. What Oprah was able to accomplish, right, what others of her ilk were able to accomplish, women in general, black women specific, white men and white society don't have it no more. And they need to bring men back online. That includes black men. Too many of their sons are throwing their hands up. Too many of their sons are being unproductive. Too many of their sons are watching video games and masturbating. And that's hurting the economy. So the Kim Fosters of the world, with their little jihad against black men, it's actually costing the US economy. Because more black men hear the Kim Fosters talk, they just throw their hands up. What's the point? And that's costing the US economy. It's costing the US economy for young men to do that in general, black men specifically. And quite frankly, they can't afford it. $50 billion, that wasn't something to brag about. That was white society bringing I wasn't but look at Kim Foster. Okay, give me a second, you guys. Give me a second. I'm back. I'm back, everybody. I'm back. I was in a bad area, bad signal. Sorry. Okay, so we're back. And yes, like I was saying, welcome Torian Rain to Kim Nicole Foster, who thinks she's above it. Hopefully, you guys can hear me better now. Right? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Who thinks she's above it, and it matters. As I said before, Kim Foster is down that Oprah lane, right? She's the one who people bring in to lecture, to give critique, to give their opinion of what's going on in the black community, and this is what she's on. So, for those of you that don't know how this started at least this particular video. And by the way, links are in the description. Um, so apparently, Kim Foster is for Angela Reese and her team going to the White House, and black people ripped her a new one on Twitter, including black women. Dear black women, I told you these people are Democratic shills, right? Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. If for some of you that remember, I made a video some months ago now, maybe like 5 or 6 months ago, where I kept on saying these people think that they know better than the rest of us. They think that the rest of the black community is a bunch of dummies, right? It's not that they're more educated than us. They're just more intelligent than us. They're smarter than us, they're wiser than us, and they're more educated than us. And so when the rest of us say, you know what, yeah, we're not doing that, they're like, you big dummies, you big dumb jocks. Don't just like how Roland Martin was chastising the black community the other day, right? They think they're above it. They think they're above us. And Kim Foster is down that lane. So if the rest of the black community is saying, yeah, it's good, Jill Biden snubbed Angela Reese and the rest of them, and so she's like, and Angela Reese is like, no, I ain't going, right? The fact that Angela Reese is like, no, I ain't going, to these people, it's an affront to her and whatever agenda she has, right? And y'all give me a second. Give Mr. Z a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
Go ahead.
Trill, I will not allow for Popeyes to be disrespected in my presence, sir. That they Popeyes ain't dry. You just, You just got to be prepared, or you will die. I call it thick biscuits, sir, not dry. Right? Trail killed me with that. Biscuits ain't dry; they're thick. Right? Don't it sound like the big sister talking about I ain't fat, I'm thick. Right? But back to the story at hand. Shout out to Tori and Rain. Yeah, brother, look, the Kim Fosters, they're here to continuously divide and conquer, whether they mean to or not, right? Whether they are true believers or not. The end result is splintered off black community. The end result is single, bitter, resentful, educated, and maybe even intelligent black women that go around the world spewing nonsense, toxic sludge about black men, being writers, being editors, being producers sometimes, being all of these people, being doctors and lawyers, and they are perfectly sane, not so much. They are intelligent and educated and witty and all of that other good stuff. And they may not even be the worst people to be around right up until you start talking to them about love and sex and intimacy and black men. And then they turn into whole monsters, right? These black women are sometimes, well, in the Kim Foster's case, they're professional, right? They speak well. They present well, regardless of their looks, right? And they obscure their hatred of black men well enough for white society to use them as a weapon against black men, right? That's what makes them so dangerous. That's what makes them so dangerous, right? They're not Paris who you can catch saying nakers. They're not Chrissy who's saying straight up, these y'all ain't ish until y'all build Wakanda. They're not Yanni over here sobbing because she feels like, her and her content are how you produce a Lawrence Smith Fields and an Asia Maynard. Now, yeah, they get caught with saying, let's bring back, we don't need these Negroes feminism. And yeah, they might get caught by calling black men, particularly black men in the black manosphere, useless. Yeah, they get caught with that, right? Yeah, they get caught with that. Trill, I just read that. That's hysterical. South Florida was a whole pool a couple of days ago. It was bad, everyone. It was really bad. And Trill said, then again, considering how much rain South Florida got, bro, it was bad. It was bad. It was really, really bad in Dade and Broward County and West Palm, but really Dade and Broward County. Oh my God. Cars floating in the water, like bad, everyone. So yeah. But this is why we speak about the Kim Fosters, because it's important. Because for decades, white society gave women like this the microphone unfettered. White society gave women like this the microphone and allowed for them to talk all type of greasy about black men, all type of negative about black men under the guise of just speaking one's truth or telling the truth about the black community or letting white society in on some of the secrets of the black community. Oh, the secret is black men are secretly misogynist and sexist and homophobic, right? That's the secret. What? The secret is that, black men are secretly gay. Did y'all know? Secretly, all these macho black men are secretly sleeping with other men, white, black, and otherwise. Right? That's the secret. That's the secret, right? But it's not a secret because these people have been playing along with white supremacist language about black men for the longest. And just because they intellectualize it, like Miss Kim Foster, doesn't make it any more true. Right? Exactly, Kevin Miller, colonizing agents. And if you go back, BGS put out this video. Oh my God, it had to be 3-4 years ago now. And in the video is a group of women speaking, right? A group of women speaking, black women speaking, and it was the two light-skinned women, but particularly one light-skinned woman, who essentially was like, the problem with the Moynihan report is that what's wrong with with women running the community? What's the problem here? What's the problem with the black community as a matriarchy? If you filter to what she's saying is what's the problem, now you all the other black women that were part of that panel were like, we're going to support our men. We're going to support our men. You know, black men are the number one target of this racist system, blah, blah. All the other women had their heads on right. But particularly one light-skinned woman was like, yes, screw that and screw black men too. This is some sexist talk because it's making it seem like we can't lead the black community. 50 years later, right? So Kim is dangerous because they pretend like they don't know why the black community is the way it is. I would like to remind y'all of the Grapevine video. I'm doing that because Kareen is here. Shout out to you, Kareen. The Grapevine video where Donovan pretty much admits, yeah, the black community is a matriarchy, and essentially we got to figure out how to make black men work while this community is a matriarchy. Because if black men are not down to play second fiddle to black women in a system where black men are the number one targets, then they're sexist. Let me say that again. If black men aren't willing to take the back seat to black female and black women leadership in a system that primarily targets black men, then black men are sexist. This is what BLM was trying to get at. This is what Donovan was trying to say. This is what that light-skinned lady I told y'all from about 50 years ago was trying to say. That is what black women and LGBTQ black people always say, imply, suggest. Yeah, you're the number one target. That's if we're willing to even grant you that. But you still need to adhere to the leadership of the Kim Fosters of the world, of the Oprahs of the world. Right? This is also what FD Signifier was saying on Bernard Rowley's channel. I don't really see anything too wrong with the matriarchy. I think that is perfectly okay, except you don't know how to incentivize the men to be down with it no more. That's the problem. Fine. Okay, you know what? Let's concede everything FD said. Let's concede everything Donovan said. Let's concede everything Kim Foster and all these other black feminists have been on for 50 plus years. Okay, fine, cool. How do you incentivize the boys and the men to do, to build, to protect, to provide, while you're saying they're not protecting and providing, by the way? How do you do that in this current system? I'll wait. Right? I'll wait. Y'all don't know how to incentivize men. And that's why you're trying to shame men. That's why y'all calling black men misogynist. Because not individual, it's not that a black man may have a problem with a black woman boss, because we have them. Black women in leadership in homes, black women in leadership in black community. That's what Freeman Journal was trying to show you, FD Signifier. When he showed you all of those school board members, leadership of school board all across the country that are black women, particularly in the black community, obviously, right? That's black women leadership. The problem is that y'all are having is that black men are saying, yeah, instead of being under your leadership, and then when the ish hits the fan, what Jeff Brown say? When the feces hits the oscillatory, the right, the fan, when the feces hits the fan, the rotary oscillator, when the feces hits the rotary oscillator, then we either ignore the plights of black boys and black men, or we blame black men and black boys for their plight. Right? So it's black female leadership until it's time to take accountability for some stuff. And black boys that are old enough and black men are just not signing up for that anymore. And that's what the Kim Fosters have a problem with. That's what they call misogynist. That's what FD Signifier has a problem with. That's what they call misogynist. That's what's seen as misogynist. Build Wakanda so we can lead it. And actually, I'm going to make a video in response to Dr. Thunder's video from, I think, yesterday morning. And it's going to be called She-Conda. She-Conda forever, actually. Right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. She-Conda forever. And it's, look, Mr. Z is not against someone having a political agenda. Can you make it work? Have fun being these type of matriarchs, if we want to be nice, gynocrats, if we want to be accurate, and getting men to sign up for that, white, black, or otherwise, but having men sign up for that and be okay with that. Right? Have fun with that. Right? And thank you, Kevin Miller. Kevin Miller said, the matriarchy used to be incidental, now it's intentional. And there you go. And there you, exactly. And one of the biggest gripes black women have is that your young black men are saying, yeah, I'd rather go deal with Latinas then. I'd rather go deal with other black women from different communities or outside of America. I'd rather go deal with black women from Brazil or from the continent. Or from the Caribbean that isn't, their family isn't, matriarchal ordered. That's what these people have a problem with. That's what they have a problem with. That's why Kim Foster was screaming to white society, hey, white daddy, white daddy. Tareen, you hear this? Tareen, you got a lot to catch up on when it comes to Kim Foster. She was over here screaming to white daddy about passport bros. Shouldn't you be happy that the air quotes sexist, misogynist men are leaving and going overseas? No, oh yeah, I forgot. You pretend like you care about those women overseas. You don't. Or like she said, it's just more ish shoveled on the backs of black women. No, stop it. You have a problem that black men are saying, yeah, instead of dealing with the Kim Fosters of the black community, I'm out. Instead of being handcuffed to the Kim Fosters of the black community, I'm out. Right? Right? And so in that environment, black men are just dipping. And I'm glad that Torian is checking out Kim Foster because, like I said, it's the Kim Fosters that white society likes to elevate. Right? And shout out to her man, right? Whatever that going on over there, you know. So it's good. It's good that these people see this. That Torian sees this. These are people that are in relationship. More than not, they're not in relationship. But okay, they're in relationships sometimes, even with black men. They're academically accomplished. They're educated, sometimes intelligent. More often than not, professional degrees, professionals. But once the conversation of black men come up, here come the fangs and the teeth, right? Here come the fangs and the teeth. And so Angela Reese pretty much giving Jill Biden a birdie, giving Jill Biden the middle finger. Kim Foster, I told you, when it comes to stuff that's not about how crap black men are, they really don't know what to say. Dear all of Kim Foster's subscribers and followers, Chrissy's subscribers and followers, Yanni's subscribers and followers, Paris subscribers and followers. Once you take these people, look, they're all fine and dandy. When they talking crap about black men, y'all all with them. Y'all marching to their drum beat when they talking crap about black men. Wait until they talk about something outside of that. Whether they're informed on the subject or not, see how often you agree with them then. Right? See how often you agree with them when they're not talking crap about black men. Y'all see the classism in Chrissy, don't lie. Y'all see the classism in Kim Foster, don't lie. Y'all see the classism in Paris Milan, don't lie. You see the classism in Yanni, don't lie. Y'all see it. They make little jabs at y'all occasionally. You working class black women, which is most black women. Huh? You hear the classism in them. You hear the elitism in them. Chrissy pretty much just told y'all she'd rather be single than be in a 50-50 relationship. How many of you other black women can afford to be like Chrissy? She over here making fun of black women in 50-50 relationships. As if other women that are not black are not in 50-50 relationships. You live in a country that needs dual income for the majority of families in America. That's white, that's black, that's Latino, that's Asian. But yet Chrissy pretty much told you that if black men don't build Wakanda, black men ain't ish. So where you gonna go, Chrissy? Where it's not gonna be 50-50. See, that's why I said these people are willing to use you as a weapon against black men. Right? So, shout out to Torian again. Um, yeah, these people are waging war against black men. They just hide it behind their education and intellectualism, right? They're sexist monsters, misandrous monsters, right? They're mean, they're catty, they're sassy, they're a-holes. And that's why I don't have to call them the B word. No need. Call them what they are. They're a-holes. Chrissy is an a-hole. Paris is an a-hole. Yanni is an a-hole, and that's okay. Kim Foster is an a-hole, right? They are, and they know they are. I told you, you listen to them long enough, and they'll tell you, Paris, you know, I keep my nose in other people's business. They speak about being petty like it's something good, like it's something to be celebrated. Because you know, I can get real petty. That's not something to celebrate. Brats, exactly, Trill. Brats also, they're brats. They're entitled a-hole brats. That's why Kim Foster, she runs from any concept of punishment. She runs from any concept of, hey, you did this, and now it's time for you to get yours. Because she frames it as it's always really like it's always some extra mean thing going on, right? Like it's the punishment is always going to be draconian. Or the response back is always going to be draconian. The reaction is always going to be draconian. Kim Foster is your perpetual child who thinks she just could go around a bull in a china shop, and then at best she should get just a pow pow. You know, when you hit a toddler just a little bit pow pow on the wrist, at best she should get that. You feel me, Rogish? Adult princess syndrome. I should go around being a whole brat, a whole a-hole, mean, and I should always have the grace of others. And Kim Foster has said it. If it wasn't for the grace of others, and many of us have experienced that at least once or twice in our life. You did something and you know you should have been hit with the book, and somebody takes a little bit of leniency on you. They're a little lenient. Kim Foster thinks that should be your life forever, right? Especially for women, especially for black women. She's one of those that kind of hide behind, you know, the world is so mean to us, and it's so we're so put upon that black people should show black women and black girls a little bit of grace. And Mr. Z would be okay with that sentiment if the people like Kim Foster weren't a-holes. What you're saying in a vacuum makes sense. Yeah, the world is extra mean to young black people, and maybe young black people should have a bit of grace when it comes to adults and, you know, their elders. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Kim Foster of the world don't believe in extending that grace to black men and to black boys. Ooh, that part. They believe in being complete a-holes and mean to black men and black boys. They don't extend that grace to black men and black boys. You did not extend that grace to the guy that you were speaking to, Kim Foster. The young man that you were speaking to about Kevin Samuels, yeah, you see how you were being short with him and curt with him? Right? All that liberal talking crap, yeah, you weren't being liberal with him. Right? That's why Torian, there we go, Jesus. Torian, that's why he called you out for that respectability. That respectability that women like you on the left, that y'all despise, y'all engage in it occasionally with other black women, but you definitely engage in it with black men. Oh, you engage it. And that's why I told y'all, all black women listening to me, you think these women stop at just going in on black men. They don't. They primarily go in on black men, but eventually they're going to hit you upside the head with their BS also. That's why Chrissy told you the black community ain't ish. She said black men ain't ish along with the rest of the black community. What she mean by that? Who's the rest? Black women. Right? Because too many of y'all are not moving the way she think y'all should move, and rage war on black men also under the guise of some fake colorism crap. So you ain't ish either, black women. right? And on that note, we'll pause right there. You know, we'll pause right there, truly. And shout out to the brother Torian Rain, and I'm gonna tag him in the title and so he could see this. It's pretty long. It's about 50 minutes long. I don't know if he can listen to the whole thing, right? And I was an early subscriber to Torian, shout out to him. Been subscribed to Torian for a long time, for a really long time, right? So we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the thank you button for the replay gang. Yeah, and it's good that we're going in on these type of people. Kim Foster act like she above it, like Kim Foster act like she's different than Chrissy and Paris and Yanni. No, you got a Harvard degree. That's it. And you can maybe more accurately quote bell hooks or some other black feminists. There you go, beginning in. But all of you are gender warriors willing to use other black women as cannon fodder against black men. And the second we take you out of that, let's see how often other black women agree with you on what you say. Primary example, your commentary about Angela Reese. Or your comments, better yet, on Twitter about Angela Reese. And there you go. Harvard grad, don't understand what the rest of the black community is on. That's why you're getting flamed on Twitter right now. Stick to talking crap about black men so more black women could be along with you. Because clearly, once you start talking about stuff outside of that, even with your education and your intelligence, ugh. Right? And we'll end out with better use comment because it's a great comment. And better usage, you have to earn that grace through attitude, character, manners, and can buy you some leniency in critical situations. And I agree 100%. This is that soft power that we talk about, right? This is that soft power. People like Miss Kim Foster think you could be an a-hole on the interwebs to black men, be sassy and mean and rude to black men, and then still have this kind of cachet of well wishes and at a girl in real life after everyone sees what you're really about. Yeah, no. Right? They didn't build that rapport with black men. And now you actually expose your hand to other black women, what you really about, what you really could sound like, and what you really care about. This is showing black women that you really aren't for black women, because look how you going in on Angela Reese. Look how you went in on Brittany Renner. Right? Look how you went in on other black women who you think are not following directly in line because they care about the feelings of black men. They care about what black men care about. They care to look good for black men. Right? This is why you're going in on Cardi B. I'm not going to be windmilling in the middle of a club over no man. Don't you get it, Miss Foster? Yes, Cardi B can afford to go it on her own. Yes, she's rich and famous. Yeah, she don't need what's his name from Migos. Yeah, she don't need him. She don't need him financially. But that lets you know what she thinks about men and having a nuclear family. Unlike you, yeah, you would find a whole lot of rich women, connected women, and their husbands cheat, and they're like, yeah, I wish you would have never got caught in public, but I'm going to take you back because where else am I going to go? Number one. Number two, I believe in nuclear family. And number three, I don't want to be like Kim Foster. Right? And thank you for the super sticker, Global Free Agent. The brother name says it itself. The name itself. Right? So, I'm going to pause right here for real before better you start counting. And so we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. I'll end it right here. Truly, Mr. Z out. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Please go check out other non-Manosphere content. Jesus Christ. All right, everyone. Mr. Z out.